Good morning at 7 o'clock with a look at your news headlines. I'm Matt Neely on 1030 The Voice. Tucson police. Try that again. Good morning, everybody. It's 7 o'clock with a look at your news headlines. I'm Matt Neely on 1030 The Voice. Tucson police arrested 3 suspects in connection with a Friday night shooting near Speedway and Silverbell. Officers say the gunfire broke out at a bus stop on West El Rio Drive after an armed robbery dispute broke out at a bus stop between two groups. A 16-year-old and an 18-year-old male were shot and are expected to recover. Arrested were 18-year-old Joseph Angel Oratanez, 20-year-old Mohammed Abdikar Lugandi, and 18-year-old Fortuna Lugandi. Charges include aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, attempted armed robbery, and discharging a firearm. Tucson police have arrested 20-year-old Katrin Devon McClendon in the July shooting death of 15-year-old Dadrian Raymond Brown. McClendon is charged with murder and is being held on a $1 million bond with his next court date set for September 15th. Brown, a standout youth soccer player, is remembered as talented, driven, and full of life. And in another shooting, the suspect in a deadly Tucson bar shooting has turned himself in. Police say 23-year-old Benjamin Alberto Mendoza, Jr. surrendered September 4th and was booked into Pima County Jail on a second-degree murder warrant. Prosecutors sought a $1 million bond, but a judge set it at $100,000 after hearing Mendoza has no criminal history and strong family support. The August 10th shooting at the Hideout Bar left 45-year-old Fred Sanchez dead and another man hospitalized. Mendoza's next court appearance September 15th. The Daily Mail reports that residents in the small Arizona town of Wendon say their community is sinking as groundwater is pumped out faster than it can replenish. Wendon is along Highway 60 between Quartzsite and Wickenburg. Locals and farms are drilling wells thousands of feet deep, causing the land to drop more than 3.5 feet in 15 years. An ASU study found nearly 80% of Arizona has no groundwater regulation. Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays has sued Fondamonte, a foreign-owned mega farm, accusing of draining local aquifers. Locals warn the crisis is unsustainable, with homes and businesses already sinking. And Arizona football is off to a 2-0 start for the season after beating Weber State on Saturday by a score of 48-3. The game start was delayed 2 hours due to lightning in the area. It started after 9 o'clock, ended after midnight. Arizona's defense has allowed only 3 field goals over 2 games this season. Next up for the Cats, a Friday home game this Friday against Kansas State, 6 p.m. kickoff. Tucson weather, warm days, clear skies expected this week. High today, 99 degrees. Overnight low, 74, 101 for your high tomorrow. We'll look to stay at or just below 100 through the weekend. There is a slight chance of an isolated thunderstorm on Thursday night. Trying to find a little good news for you. It looks like our overnight lows will venture into the high 60s by late this week. So that's some silver lining to hang on to, I guess. It's 75 degrees in Tucson under clear skies. Now it's time for the Morning Voice. Morning Rainmakers with Lydia Aranda.
Good morning. This is Lydia Aranda, your host of Rainmakers. It's another great week of The Morning Voice, which is 5 days with 5 different hosts, 5 different perspectives. And we love kicking it off every Monday morning with Rainmakers. Matt Neely, how are you doing? That weather's being great, just like we hope every Monday.
Doing well. It's we're holding on to a little chance of rain this week, but I think it's going to be sunny and warm. That's what we're going to have for the next several days. So I think I'm going to come to terms with that and accept it.
You're just going to accept it. You're just going to go with it. Well, that's pretty good.
Right.
And go Cats. We're excited that they won over the weekend.
Yeah,
and
they took care of what they needed to do on Saturday night. So
they sure did. And I'm so glad to see you in studio. We had a week off because last Monday was Labor Day. So it's nice to be back in. Those 2 weeks.
We get to recharge.
We get to recharge just a little bit. I try to always pay attention to what kind of national day of or national week of is going on and making up for last week and this week. Last week, I don't know if you know, Matt, but it was National Health Center Week. in observance and highlights of the importance of community health centers. And,
Hmm.
on this show, we've brought on a lot of different professionals and community leaders and folks who either run or help support community health centers anywhere in southern Arizona. We've had folks from Cochise County and up here in Pima County, even from up in the valleys. So I thought that was pretty exciting that we had that last week. So I hope it was a healthy week for you last week.
Well, we're working on it. We always work on that part.
That's right. That's right. And this week, believe it or not, this week, the 7th, starting yesterday, actually, yesterday was a whole lot of days. It was certainly National Grandparents' Day.
That's right.
We also had, let's see, it was, believe this or not, National Grateful Patient Day. So again, that theme of health, I guess.
Absolutely.
Patients who are very grateful maybe for their health or grateful for the services.
You
that they
you
receive.
get a doctor, a nurse practitioner, has good bedside manner. It's so
Makes all the difference.
It is, and when they can kind of sort out what you're telling them about you, and they can sort that out to making you feel better, it's a good thing.
That's right. That's right. Well, guess what else it was? It was National Beer Lovers Day.
Okay. I think I
National.
might have celebrated that on Saturday a day early, but it's okay.
Yeah, we had National Acorn Squash Day was
Okay.
yesterday, and
A little brown
National
sugar, bake it up. It
little
sounds-
yummy, kind of getting
sounds-
into
sounds
the
good.
fall,
You
getting
bet.
ready for those autumnal type cuisine.
Autumnal, very nicely put.
My coffee's kicking in.
There
this
you
morning.
go.
And also National Salami Day. So between all of that stuff, I don't know.
You gotta
if
have
then
something with your beer. You can't.
You gotta
drink
have
an-
something
an
with your
acorn
beer.
squash.
Coming off of a health week, then you got to go into this other stuff. So that was all just yesterday. But this week, I also want to point out that it is National Suicide Prevention Week and National HBCU, which is Historically Black Colleges and Universities Week. And then later this week, two exciting things. On Thursday, we're going to have National School Backpack Awareness Day. So going back to school, I know we have a lot of great organizations, in fact, that we've had not only on this show, but throughout the week on the Morning Voice. Lots of organizations that help fill those backpacks.
Indeed, I've
Everything
met
from
several of
first
them.
responders to private citizens, make sure that those kids have what they need in school. And then later this week, on Saturday, September 13th, we're going to have World Cleanup Day. So hopefully we're helping get rid of the litter
Okay.
there. So with all that said, I'm glad we're back for another wonderful week, another Monday at Rainmakers here in the studios. And I am excited. We are going to have a jam-packed schedule this morning, and it kicks off with the wonderful story. In our studio this morning is Jennifer Turner-Jones. Jennifer, welcome. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So excited because you are the founder of a fantastic organization called the Southern Arizona Book Heroes. And while that may be newer to some, it's not so new in the community. It's been around a bit. It started quite a few years ago, yes?
2019, so we've been around for 6.5 years.
Oh, congratulations on that run. That's wonderful. Well, I'm going to let our listeners know that the mission statement of Southern Arizona Book Heroes is to bring awareness to mental health in children, especially children who are maybe going through a little bit of extra trauma or change that's affecting them, and also to share about adverse childhood experiences. We call those ACEs. You all call those ACEs. To the community, and doing that through literacy and volunteer opportunities, influencing the course of history for generations to come. I love that mission statement.
Thank you.
How wonderful. So, what the younger you needed is actually what influenced this, and what it has grown into is a fantastic, it seems to me, collaborative effort between first responders, caregivers, maybe even foster families or other folks who take care of kids temporarily or permanently with new surroundings and new care and new homes. And it's all about the role that books and literacy and favorite stories can play in helping to keep some consistency for children.
Yes.
Fabulous. So tell us a little bit about, first of all, I know that when you and I have been talking a little bit, that you grew up in the valley, I did too. And actually, so did our producer, Matt Neely. He and I both grew up in Tempe. My family hails from southern Arizona. You grew up in the Phoenix area, I understand it, then lived up in northern part of the state in Flagstaff, and then came down to Tucson. So, had you already formulated this organization and brought the idea after coming and thinking Tucson would be a great home for that, or how did that work? Tell us a little bit.
So I was born in Phoenix, and we moved up to Flagstaff in when I was like 5 or 6, and I personally was taken away due to abuse in my surroundings, and
I'm so sorry.
so I was taken away and I was put into a shelter, and then when I was allowed to go back to family, they resided here in Tucson.
Oh, okay.
So
So family brought you down south.
yes.
So the Sonoran Desert is home and has been for quite a long time. That's wonderful. We enjoy it. I'll speak for Matt and the rest of the crew here. Love the camaraderie and the community that happens here, like many of our communities all around our wonderful state of Arizona. So literacy, I'm going to guess that stories were what gave you some solace, maybe some strength, let your imagination run wild.
I did not want to be in my reality, and books gave me the happily ever after that I wasn't having at that time, and I was able to just put myself in another dimension, so to speak. So
Sure.
I like to think that books literacy saved me.
Wonderful. I have the privilege of being the daughter of teachers, and my mother, in particular, in her focus of education, was very strong in reading and literacy. And so this really speaks to my heart, and I'm thinking a little bit about her. She's not with us any longer, but her legacy of reading certainly hit the nail on the head with my brother and I, and we carry that forward. I love that in other conversations that you've had, whether in interviews or on your website, that you say that reading a book is just the first step in building a strong relationship with our youngest and most vulnerable cities and community. Because it allows, I think I've heard you say it allows a conversation to take place that's not a conversation about them or what's going on, but really can be about something else that helps either lighten the load or maybe allows them to find words about what they're going through.
Right. So one of our hopes with a first responder handing out a book is to open up that communication and hopefully calm them down, soothe them, and everything, and they're not so intimidated
Mm-hmm.
by our first responders, because I was, and that's what we try to help not have.
Help mitigate that what do I want to call it? Sort of that atmosphere and change into a calming. I would imagine that first responders really appreciate all the help that they can get, because it sounds like not only with books, the actual tactical books, or maybe these days the online books on a notepad or whatever, a tablet, might be taking place, but just the fact that extra people are lifting a hand and really joining forces with first responders, who we don't have enough of them.
Right.
They have a lot of crises to face that aren't often or aren't always focused on families, certainly on people going through crisis. So they get spread pretty thin, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yes, they do.
And it's wonderful that you have this additional program that touches into a way to connect the two. I'm going to imagine that some folks actually, after going through an experience like this and seeing the positive and building, like you said, that rapport that could lead to a relationship, might actually help stimulate some folks to think about going into first responders as a career, whether it's the fire department or other kinds of agencies that come out and are on the front lines of that triage. Well, I think, believe it or not, on this Monday morning, we are ready for our first commercial break. So, listeners, stay tuned. We're going to hear more about this wonderful organization. And Southern Arizona Book Heroes also has some fun events coming up. So, stay tuned.
At 7:18 with a look at your traffic and weather, I'm Matt Neely on 1030 The Voice. Traffic hazard 12th Avenue in Irvington and a crash on the right shoulder, I-19 northbound near Santa Gertrudis. Light traffic on your Tucson area freeways. A few road projects to be aware of this week. Aver Valley Road near the airport and east of Air Commerce Way, guardrail damage repair. That'll be starting tomorrow. Then Pima County Transportation Crews will be working on Sunrise Drive at Pontotoc today through the 18th, doing shoulder maintenance. So if you're heading across Sunrise Drive today for the next several days, be aware, expect delays and lane closures. Finally, they're doing some nighttime bridge deck work, Swan Road at the Rito River. Tucson weather, high today 99 degrees, overnight low 74. It's 75.
Of my life. And we're back. This is our morning voice on a Monday, the Monday segment being called Rainmakers. I'm your host, Lydia Aranda, and today is Monday, September 8th. We are live in studio with Jennifer Turner-Jones, who is the founder of the Southern Arizona Book Heroes, a fabulous organization that uses literacy and stories to be able to connect and support our first responders, particularly with children, but also other family members of all ages who could use some help through stories and books. Jennifer, thank you for being here this morning. We were listening to the great tunes of Stevie Wonder and having a mellow welcome back in. Nice to have you here.
I appreciate it. It's a truly honor.
Well, it's my honor and privilege to learn so much more about your organization that I've heard about and have read about, but have not had a chance to really participate. Let's back up just a little bit. This organization you founded in 2019,
Yes.
and it is based on a need and an opportunity to fill a need using books as a connector tool between first responders and particularly youth, our most vulnerable young folks, especially when they are at their most vulnerable and need to trust all over again in just a quick instant.
Yep.
And this is something that you call it Southern Arizona because it doesn't exist just here in Tucson. It is all over, multi-county. And I understand that you are working with 38 different departments or public agencies. That's quite a bit. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a whirlwind, that's for sure, because I never expected it to grow outside of the Tucson or Valley Marana area.
Mm-hmm.
And word of mouth between agencies and everything is just blowing up. So
That's fantastic. So agency to agency, they're letting people know this service is available. And you basically make sure to collect new or used books, or is all
So-
new books?
we try to do all new books. So in the bags, it's all new books, but we do accept used books and we still give them away at like various events that we're at and
Mhm.
everything because we're about literacy and sharing the love of books. So
Right. Well, and I have to say that once in a while, certainly having your own book, a new book, is probably really special to children in particular.
Yeah.
But also, there's something as we grow older and we see other books that might be a little bit yellowed and weathered, dog-eared, because
Yes.
somebody else has loved the book
it
so
had
much.
a lot of love.
It had a lot of love. So there's something almost like a Velveteen Rabbit, which is a fabulous book.
Yes.
I remember that story, but the same thing that it really, through the more wear and use that it had, it kind of increased the special part about it. So 38 departments growing to 40 soon. You're across multiple counties, and that includes not only first responders, but even departments of corrections, other kinds of agencies like that. You were speaking that recently in Yuma, the Department of Corrections found that they were using their books and had a need and a desire because of the popularity amongst the workers that they wanted to have more books for their own maybe their own philosophical benefit,
Right.
their own mental health benefit, their own outlet
Yes.
working there at the Department of Corrections. Tell me a little bit more about that, how they told you about that, how that came to be.
So when I was first contacted by Department of Corrections in Yuma, I thought that it was just going to be like in the waiting room or something for visitors. And when we dropped off the bags of books, I learned more that it was going to be for the employment support group. And
Wow.
so what they do is they use the books. They go, like, if there's a family in the department that is having a difficult situation, like a divorce or something like that, then their coworker, who is part of the employment support group, will go and help calm things down, give a book to their children, and still help bring positivity and calmness in the life when it might be chaotic.
Yeah, it's kind of just something that helps calm
Yeah.
everybody or get a focus there. That's really exciting. And then to know that that by word of mouth this spreads to other agencies. So from Yuma, they spoke to Florence, and now you've
And
got something
now-
going on in Pinal County over at the Florence facility also.
So we are with the sheriff department there. We've been there with them for a couple of years.
Mhm.
But Yuma was talking to Florence Department of Corrections,
Mhm.
and Florence reached out, and we will be delivering bags to them next month. So
That's fantastic. So let's walk through the process. If somebody says, I want to provide a bag of books, or I have some books that could go into a bag, approximately how many books are in a bag? How many bags do you deliver? What are you looking to accomplish that we can help you do?
So each bag, it's a duffel bag, and it has approximately 40 books,
Wow.
ranging from 0 to 16 years of age.
Okay.
We just started adding communication cards. So if there's a child that is in freeze, flight, or fight mode,
Mhm.
then the first responder or whoever is to use these cards to open up that communication and everything, and hopefully they can start relaxing. We've also added journals. So if there's a child who doesn't read, doesn't want a book, and wants to doodle or write down their deepest, darkest thoughts, then
Sure.
they can get a journal. And then we've also added blankets and coloring books and stuff. So our main focus is reading books, but we do have other little things in the bags when we get a donation of them.
Helpful tools that will lead to hopefully more reading and exchange.
Yes.
Communication cards, are those like flashcards?
Yes.
Okay.
They're little like 2x3 cards, and they say stuff like, I'm hungry, I'm mad, I'm happy, I need to go to the bathroom, I'm sad, and everything. And so
So if they're having trouble verbalizing out loud, this is a way they can communicate.
yes.
What a wonderful tool and needed in so many circumstances. Sometimes folks are just really worn out
Mhm.
and just can't find the words. So that's a great opener. Tell me, do you have some favorite stories from when you were a child or throughout the years? Maybe even now you have a favorite book that you're reading, or just too many to mention?
So growing up, I loved reading The Babysitter's Club
Yes.
and the Nancy Drew series.
Yes, of course.
Those are my two
great.
favorite. And when we get a donation and we're like sorting through books and everything like that, it's so nostalgic because you're like, oh, I remember that growing up, or oh my gosh, that was such a good book and everything. And so
I remember several. Read a lot. I was read to and read a lot at a very early age. And one of my favorite books, and I'm actually looking it up right now as we're speaking, because I couldn't remember the author. Is called The Hat, and it was by Tomi Ungerer, and it was set in a wonderful scene, somewhere in Italy, because I remember all the names were very Italian, and it was about this magical hat that went hither and thither and went with the wind. It was a top hat, and whoever's head it landed on, some interesting experiences would happen. And then when that person was off doing or able to do whatever their deepest wish was, then it went on down the hill and over the hill to the next town, that kind of thing. And it was a wonderful story.
yes, I think we actually had that book, and hopefully it's with a new child now.
Hopefully. What a wonderful thing. So you take donations, monetary, I'm going to guess, because you are a 501c3, and so tax-deductible charitable donations, but also you take books and other tools, as you've mentioned. What else can people do to help support? Do you have different events all around to inform people? Do you participate in panels or can
So,
folks go to workshops?
as a matter of fact, tonight we do have a uh, networking event with the Arizona Bowl at the district on Campbell and Fort Lowell from
Okay.
5:30 to 7:30.
Okay.
We started doing a junior ambassadors program where it's eighth graders and high schoolers, and they do their own events and raise the money and get really involved out there in the community and share the mission to schools and everything. And they have a spaghetti dinner on Wednesday
Nice.
and it'll at the American Legion on 22nd from 5 o'clock till 6:30. And then we have volunteer days that you can go online and check the different volunteer opportunities. And then we have our annual gala coming up at the end of the month. And we're really excited about that. We do have a officer speaking and a parent who saw us at an event that we were at in town and told us that there was a situation. First responders showed up, gave the kids a book, and so she's going to come and talk about the impact that it had.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sounds like there's
So,
an awful lot.
We're
Yes,
getting ready to
Matt.
go to break. Why don't you tell the folks to the website,
Website.
how to get there and learn more about it? I know we're going to come back and talk some more about it, but why don't you give them the website they can go to?
So it's Southern Arizona Book Heroes, SOAZ bookheroes.org.
Wonderful. Well, people can check it out while we're going on commercial break. Matt, take us away. And we're back after our mid-show break. Can you believe it? We've already gone through the first half hour of our first hour segment. This is Lydia Aranda, your host of Rainmakers, and we're here on Monday, September 8th in studio with Jennifer Turner Jones. Jennifer, so great. We were having a great conversation about so many things. Had to go to break and pay for this wonderful show, with our commercials and such. And as Matt so wisely pointed out, there are many ways for folks to get in touch, to learn more, or to donate, or to participate, or to find out about other resources with Southern Arizona Book Heroes. And the website again is
SouthernArizonaBookHeroes.org, SOAZ. bookheroes.org.
Wonderful. And then there's a phone number where folks can get in touch, but the website is probably the best way because people can peruse and see a lot about everything that you were talking about. I want to say that right as we were going to the break, you were mentioning that coming up is your annual gala, September 27th. That's just a few weeks away. And that will be at
the Casino del Sol from 6 to 10 p.m.
Fantastic. Casino del Sol is such a great venue that really makes itself available for so many community organizations, and the team works well with nonprofits to make things happen, especially smaller. I don't mean that the other resorts and venues, of course, they all do all around our community, but it seems that the team out at Casino del Sol, especially under the leadership of Lisa Sethmagay, who's a great friend and a wonderful community leader. She really has her team attentive to saying, how can we help or what can we do that would make your particular mission special? So at your gala will be speakers, of course, some food. People get to dress up, other activities.
So our theme is Once Upon a Time.
Okay.
And we will have a keynote speaker and then 2 special guests. And we will have a live band. We will have a silent auction, live auction.
All the fun stuff.
Yes, there may or may not be some awards given out, and
Well, that's wonderful. And I wonder if, as our listeners are listening, if they have a favorite book or a book that's made a difference in their life, I wonder if they might want to share it with us by calling in or maybe dropping a line, making a comment on the Facebook or YouTube page. That's 1030 The Voice, because we are live streaming, not only on the radio website, but we are on Facebook and YouTube every morning, so folks can make comments there. But we'd love to have them call in, and in case you don't know that number for 1030 The Voice, it's 520-790-2040. And Matt Neely would love to take your call and hear about your favorite books. In the meanwhile, so a theme of Once Upon a Time, I think, is very apropos based on what you said has helped create this whole mission to begin with, that folks are in a very severe dilemma, a crisis even, or going through just a very traumatic change. And books sometimes are the only way out. Once Upon a Time, a theme of maybe favorite fairy tales or favorite fun stories or remembering something great that happened and being able to share that with others. So do you have your outfit picked out? Are you going to dress to the theme?
I do. And of course, it's purple.
Yay. I noticed that there's lots of purple on your website and in your materials. You're wearing purple today. So that I would imagine with the ribbons, purple for supporting those folks who have been victims.
Yes.
And have gone through certain things. We were speaking earlier about, when I was talking about, this happens to be National Suicide Prevention Week, and that seems really apropos with the kind of in incidents that you are speaking about, but also you spoke about your relationships with a lot of organizations, American Legion being one of them, and American Legion very known for its work with veterans to help prevent suicide.
Yep.
So that seems like a really great link and a wonderful way that tough situations and sometimes that feeling of hopelessness and nowhere to go happens. That's real. And it happens, and people need help getting through that. You've survived that.
I did. Not once, but twice.
Well, we're really glad that you're here.
Thank you. There's a reason, and I really believe with all my heart and soul that Southern Arizona Book Heroes was my calling. And something out there higher than me was like, you're not going anywhere. You're stuck with us. So
You're staying right here, and you're going to find a way through it.
yes.
Well, so with your relationship with American Legion, do you find that reaching out and holding either events or workshops or at the different posts, are those collecting places where people can drop off books or maybe learn more about your organization, or how does that
So
work?
we are starting to bring awareness to suicide awareness, not just with our vets and people in the first responders world and everything like that, but we also share it with adolescents
Okay.
because, like I said, I tried not just once but twice, and I was 16. And the mission of the American Legion is Be the One, which is one of every 22 veterans commit suicide. And I have never talked about my attempts or anything like that because it's a pretty difficult conversation to have.
Sure, I
you know.
imagine so. I imagine
And
so.
So I am the District 2 president, and so I oversee 9 units. And I was at the Cabal conference in November,
Okay.
and a department commander came up to me and was like, "I want you to share your story." And so I didn't sleep that night
Oh, I
because I've never spoken out loud of the attempts, and I went in and shared it amongst 200-300 people about Be the One isn't just about our veterans. It could be the person next to you, or it could be the person that's standing in front of you having this conversation. And I shared my story for the first time out loud, and it's now become part of our mission is sharing suicide awareness and adolescent PTSD, and it's real. And I feel like I'm a walking billboard for it. But it's so Southern Arizona Book Heroes has become more than just like literacy
Sure.
and everything. It's
Sounds like
growing.
Sounds like it's growing with multiple touches of
And
building
mental
strength,
awareness.
mental well-being,
Yeah.
and the power of asking for help, and the power of leaning into vulnerability, which is a very difficult, but sounds like a very healing process, especially for you.
And people need to know, kids, adults, everyone needs to know that they're not alone. They don't have to fight. They don't have to fight their demons by themselves.
That's a wonderful thing for folks to know because it can be very scary.
Yep.
At little levels or at big levels. Let's go back to your annual gala for a minute. I have a question. Is that for all ages? Is that basically an adult event, or are kids welcome too?
We are letting junior ambassadors come, so
Okay.
high schoolers.
Okay.
So 16 to adults.
That's
So,
great. There will be lots of activity going on, sounds
Yes.
like. And tickets are still available, tables and sponsorships, a few left to fill.
Yes.
Oh, good.
We have 3 weeks and counting.
Wonderful. So, Once Upon a Time is happening September 27th. Now, in the meanwhile, since you are an organization that is headquartered here in Tucson but serves all of Southern Arizona, are there places in other counties and cities where folks can drop off books and tools or other items?
So I am really excited. So I ran this out of my house for the first 4.5 years. And
Mhm.
last year, we just went into an office building.
Oh, wow.
It is limited hours.
Mhm.
Call by appointment. But I have a living room. I didn't know that. But if you go to our website.
You mean because all of the things moved out of your living room and gave it back to you. So now you
Yes.
have a living space again.
Because
Good.
my living room became like where all the books and everything. And so, yeah, I have a living room. I have a couch. I didn't
Imagine
know
that.
But anyways, if you go to our website, it's southernarizonabookheroes.org, SOAZ Book Heroes. And if you go to, I believe it's Community Heroes, you can see various businesses that are collecting books on our behalf.
Wonderful.
And we are doing so tonight at the district with the Arizona Bowl, they are doing a book drive as well. So
good.
if you want to go clean out that child's bookshelf really quick before 5:30 and drop off some books at the district tonight, we are more than welcome, or you are more than welcome to come out and share the excitement. And yeah.
Sounds wonderful. I am going to, as we're talking, maybe mention a few of those locations, but I'm going to guess that maybe some American Legion posts might be places to drop off books. Are they doing that, or am I? Is
So
that not?
American Legion Post 36, which is my home post, and then I do work a full-time job
Okay.
outside of running the nonprofit, which is Sorrow Trophy. So those are two places that you can do. WAFED banks will take them.
It's, I think, also Embassy Suites by Hilton, Tucson East on East Broadway is placed. That is making it easy for community to donate books. Spring Hill Suites at the Bridges over in the Tucson Marketplace. And Free Ever After on East Broadway. What is Free Ever After? Is that a bookstore?
It is not. It is actually a bridal store. They do formal dresses.
Oh, fantastic. And good for WAFED. Shout out to all of our friends at WAFED Banks. It sounds like at all 11 locations that they will receive books on your part. Tucson Pack and Ship on Roger Road. And I'm just scrolling through some of this. The Dream Dance and Scrapbook Dolls.
Yep.
Tell me about those. Are those retail stores?
I actually do not know. One of my volunteers
Hook
made
that
that
one up so people
connection.
can find out about
Yes.
that. Okay. And you've got great partnerships with lots of other organizations all around Tucson, the Tucson Merchant Solutions and
Proper Villains.
yes, Proper Villains. Yes. Wonderful. Well, it sounds like a lot of great stuff. We're about to go to our next break. So stay tuned and you'll hear more about Southern Arizona Book Heroes.
At 7:49, I'm Matt Neely with a look at your traffic and weather on 10:30 The Voice. Traffic incident, Colbin Sunrise, another Tangerine at Rito Village Trail. On your freeways, some slowing on I-10 eastbound off and on, all the way from Cortero to Grant. You'll have some areas where you open it up again, and then you slow down as you approach Miracle Mile, and then again between Miracle Mile and Grant. I-10 westbound slowing between Kolb and looks like Valencia. You'll be on your way before you get to Alvernon, I can tell you that. I-19 northbound slowing between Valencia and Drexel. Tucson weather, high today 99 degrees, sunny clear skies, overnight low 74. 101 for your high tomorrow, 79 degrees under clear skies. Now back to the morning voice.
And we're back. This is Lydia Aranda, your host of Rainmakers. It's Monday, September 8th. And for our first hour, we have had in studio Jennifer Turner-Jones. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here this morning, speaking about Southern Arizona Book Heroes, an organization you founded back in 2019 that is still going and growing strong. Based here in Tucson, used to be out of your house and now has a new office over in the Broadway and Kolb area. So if folks want to come by and learn more, meet you, find out how to volunteer, or drop off books and other tools, probably best, since the office has appointments by appointment only, is open by appointments only. They can do that by finding you on your website, bookheroes.org.
Yep.
Did I get all that right?
You did.
Oh, good. Wonderful. Jennifer, it's been wonderful to have you in here. I want to give you a few moments to, again, highlight some things that stuck out for me, which is this organization helps build trust and camaraderie with first responders and other public agencies and the children or young adults that they serve through literacy by providing books as a tool of comfort, as a tool of safety, and sometimes as one of the only ways to start a communication mode.
Yes.
And you have just done fabulously with that, really bringing in a lot of partners, spreading around all of Southern Arizona, multiple counties from Cochise County to Yuma, up to Pinal County, down to Santa Cruz.
Coconino. Yes.
Up north. I didn't realize it was up north as well. So really touching a lot of communities all across our great state. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. It's like I said at the beginning of the show, it's been a whirlwind and just an amazing journey, and seeing how Southern Arizona Book Heroes is helping so many people, not just the children in our communities, but adults too.
Adults too, their family, maybe their foster, their siblings, their extended family, maybe even their teachers or other folks in their life, neighbors who realize that there's a resource, and as you had mentioned, that they don't have to walk this path alone.
Yes.
The most important part. Well, let's make sure listeners remember that they can donate books, they can get involved as a volunteer. Even youth as young as 16 can become junior ambassadors.
Yes.
Is that correct? And then you've got a fabulous Once Upon a Time, your second annual gala coming up. Is it the second or third?
It's actually the 4th.
The 4th, excuse me. Coming up at Casino del Sol on September 27th. So also they can go online to find out where to buy tickets, maybe even become a sponsor or otherwise get involved with that. What else do you want our listeners to know about you, about your journey, about these wonderful partners and partnerships that you've built up, and about the program?
So real quick, I was taken away, like I said, and last month we delivered to Flagstaff, which is the department that took me away. So that was it was a full circle. And so just spreading the love of literacy, love of reading. It should be every month, not just February.
That's right. That's right. Literacy is important all year long, every day. And it is also such a great way to find some peace and really stimulate that imaginative of what can be or where we are going to be, where we're headed.
Yeah. If you would like more information, we are looking for board members.
Good.
And you can go to the website and fill out our volunteer form and just click board member, and information will be sent out to you via email. And we're constantly looking for volunteers. You can go onto our website under the volunteer tab and see the various opportunities to give your time, which is also valuable. And
and really help support the cause in whatever way, time, talent, and treasure, as we always say. And currently you have board members. Your president of your board is Mark Weiss.
Yes.
Is that correct? And Vice President Angela Atkinson. So folks, if you want to add your self and your expertise and your input and your time into serving on the board, Southern Arizona Book Heroes is a great choice. So, Jennifer, once again, please know you have friends here at the Morning Voice, and let us know how we can continue to help and support you. And I want to thank you for being part of Rainmakers, because you are definitely making it rain for many, many children and their families, and really helping those first responders have an extra set of hands.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do. Matt, what do you say? I think this Monday's off to a great start.
I think this is an amazing hour. So, yeah, absolutely wonderful what you're doing, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Well, as coming up next, we are going to have another fabulous hour with two guests talking about She Means Business and also about the Fellowship Square. So stay tuned for a second hour. And again, Jennifer Turner-Jones has been with us. Make it a great Monday morning. Stay tuned.
If you'd like to follow us on Facebook, 1030 The Voice. We are streaming live on YouTube. 1030 The Voice is the channel there. And we will see you on the radio. Morning Voice will be right back after the news. At 8 o'clock, with a look at your news headlines, I'm Matt Neely on 1030 The Voice. The suspect in a deadly Tucson bar shooting has turned himself in. Police say 23-year-old Benjamin Alberto Mendoza Jr. surrendered September 4th and was booked into Pima County Jail on a second-degree murder warrant. Prosecutors sought a $1 million bond, but a judge set it at $100,000 after hearing Mendoza has no criminal history and a strong family support. The August 10th shooting at the Hideout Bar left 45-year-old Fred Sanchez dead and another man hospitalized. Mendoza's next court appearance is September 15th. Tucson Police Officers Association is raising safety concerns after Armory Park closed this week for renovations. Union President Daryl Hussman says the park has long been a hotspot for crime, particularly at night, and remains a focal point for police patrols. While TPD logged only 4 criminal reports there in the past year, Hussman says many disturbances go unreported. Violent incidences nearby, including stabbings, shootings, and fights, have added to community worries, especially given the park's proximity to the Children's Museum. Tucson police arrested 20-year-old Katrun Devon McClendon in the July shooting death of 15-year-old Dadrian Raymond Brown. McClendon is charged with murder and is being held on a $1 million bond with his court date set for September 15th. Brown, a standout youth soccer player, is remembered as talented, driven, and full of life. And the Daily Mail reports that the small Arizona town of Wendon say their community is sinking as groundwater is pumped out faster than it can replenish. Wendon is along Highway 60 between Quartzsite and Wickenburg. Locals and farms are drilling wells thousands of feet deep, causing the land to drop more than 3.5 feet in 15 years. An ASU study found nearly 80% of Arizona has no groundwater regulation. Attorney General Chris Mays has sued Fondamonte, a foreign-owned mega farm accused of draining local aquifers. Locals warn that the crisis is unsustainable, with homes and businesses already sinking. And Arizona football is off to a 2-0 start for the season after beating Weber State on Saturday, 48-3. The game start was delayed 2 hours due to lightning. Started after 9 o'clock, ended after midnight. Arizona's defense has allowed only 3 field goals over 2 games. Next up for the Cats, a Friday home game against Kansas State, 6 p.m. kickoff, again on Friday. Tucson weather. High today, 99 degrees. Overnight low, 74. Looks like warm days and clear skies expected this week. 101 for your high tomorrow. We'll stay at or just below the 100 degrees after that through the weekend. A slight chance of an isolated thunderstorm Thursday night. If you want some good news, it looks like our overnight lows will venture into the high 60s late this week. So, we'll take our silver lining wherever we can get it. Under clear skies, it is 80 degrees already in Tucson. Now let's go back to the Morning Voice with Lydia Aranda, Rainmakers, on a Monday.
Good morning. This is Lydia Aranda, and I am your host for Rainmakers, which is the Monday segment of weekday positive talk radio show, The Morning Voice, here on 1030 The Voice, KVOI. Matt Neely, how are you doing? You're just doing great stuff behind the glass
I am
as
doing
always.
well today. For a Monday, I can't complain. I feel like it's not a Monday, so I'm going to take that win right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a positive one. And as I was mentioning at the top of our first hour, we had a little break last week because it was Labor Day. So we got to enjoy that. We got to rejuvenate a little bit, and now we're back and we're plugging Rainmakers. And it seems like later this week we just might get some more rain, Matt. So we're keeping
you
going.
are definitely taking the glass is half full on that one.
Absolutely.
It's a very slim chance, but sometimes when they say it's 10% chance that
that's when it
it's
pours.
a deluge, right?
That's when we get the Noah's
The
Ark.
60% chance we get, a sprinkle, but
Well, we had a fabulous first hour. We had Jennifer Turner Jones, who came on to talk about Southern Arizona Book Heroes and its tie into helping children, helping first responders when they all have to meet each other, usually in the form of crisis. Sometimes it's after a quick disaster, maybe an accident, but the role that books and literacy and storytelling play in the healing after some trauma like that. So folks can continue to be very aware of how to stay involved if they like, all around Southern Arizona and even up in Coconino County. So we want to thank Jennifer for coming in. And now in our second hour, I'm so excited to have in studio Susan Pisano. Susan is with the Expert Accountant. She is an accountant herself and has had a fabulous business career. And with that, Susan, I'm so glad to have you here because later this week you are hosting a wonderful 3-day women's business retreat calling She Means Business. Welcome to the Rainmakers because you're definitely making it rain as well.
Well, thank you for having me, Lydia. I'm super excited about the 3-day retreat.
Well, we're excited to hear more about it. And as I understand it, for listeners, if they find themselves so excited about this and have not yet signed up, perhaps there might even be a special discount for being a listener this morning to be able to take advantage of that and grab one of those last few registrations that you have coming up.
Exactly. I have a few seats left.
Great.
This is an intimate retreat. There's only 14 spots total.
Okay.
So we do have a few spots left. And for your listeners this morning, if they contact me at susan@theexpertaccountant.com, I will take $200 off the price. So
Wonderful.
from $7.99 down to $5.99.
That is a wonderful discount. Thank you so much for offering that to our listeners or our watchers, because some people do watch us on radio by finding us on YouTube or on Facebook live streaming at 1030 The Voice. Those are the handles on either of those venues. So thank you very much. Let's get started and let's us mean business about She Means Business. So She Means Business, a 3-day retreat, is a journey to growth. That's the theme that I have heard you talk about. And it starts on Friday, September 12th in the afternoon. About mid-afternoon, sounds like about 2 o'clock. It goes all day Saturday and Saturday evening, including fireside chats and some other fun interactions and dinner. And then Sunday includes yoga and brunch, more presentations, and interacting with mentors throughout the entire weekend. What a fabulous lineup. Tell me, what got this started? What planted this seed in your head? And what led you to producing this event?
Well, I've been in the accounting field for about 30 years.
Okay.
And over the years, I've noticed that women business owners have really been neglected when it comes to specifics that they can do for their businesses,
Okay.
whether it be tax incentives or minority grants, because women business owners, believe it or not, are a minority.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm getting a lot of questions about these things. Let me put a retreat together, something that really is going to hit home for women business owners. And I put together a great lineup of speakers, including myself. But Pam O'Neill, who's a certified coach and tax professional, is going to be there. Bobby Still, who owns Affinity for Design, is going to be there. And we're going to talk about some great things. Some of the classes include AI for content marketing.
Oh, so important these days.
Right? Tax strategies, leadership. We're going to have some, as you said, the fireside chats, some welcoming and networking events. We threw in some yoga and brunch just to make it interesting. And we're going to be taking a look at each person's business and seeing what can we do to make you save money in your business, allow you the deductions that you need to take.
Sure.
And just put them on a path to success and like you said, a journey to growth.
That's wonderful. So needed. And even folks who are very seasoned, have been running their own business, can benefit from this just as much as those who maybe are on the early part of their business, or maybe even burgeoning entrepreneurs who may be folks going on a second career, or maybe looking at the industries in which, they've had their field of study, things of that nature, where they're saying, I just want to learn a little bit more. I know what I know. That's what my business is. But maybe I don't know all the things about running the business to its full potential. I might just be doing just fine, but now there's a way to elevate and expand, and everybody can use some refresher courses in case that might be what what they're going for. So where does this take place? I think Solana Spanish Villas, which is in the East Valley of Tucson.
It is. It's on Tanque Verde and Tanque Verde and Houghton area.
Yes.
The villas are just awesome and yummy. And they have a beautiful fireside area. They have a heated pool. So this is a retreat not only for your business, but for you as well.
I love that. A little rejuvenation while also listening to others, perhaps finding a mentor or just being inspired by the exchange of stories and expertise. It sounds like it's going to happen.
It is. They're going to go home with a lot of swag, a thumb drive of all the information that we're going to have and speak about. We're going to even open up with a big discussion on how One Big Beautiful Bill is affected, how you're affected as an employer. So that's a big discussion in the beginning. And we're going to end with QBO, what do you want to know?
That sounds great.
Right? Being an Intuit Advanced Pro Advisor, there's a lot of questions people have about QuickBooks Online, and I'm here to answer them.
I love that. QBO, what do you want to know? And I think it's important to address the many elephants in the room that are coming from a lot of the budgetary decisions out of the White House administration. This year, we have had many speakers come on this show and other segments of the Morning Voice, as well as connecting this show out into events and community with experts who can really kind of bust the myths and cut through people's either fear or confusion and be able to say, well, this is what's happening and how it's going to affect Arizona with policy, or Arizona with business needs, or people in general, because they might be headquartering their business here but have locations in other states. So it can get very overwhelming trying to sift through all that. So thank you so much for being able to include those conversations in what people can learn, but doing it in an intimate way so they don't feel lost in the masses of a big lecture hall or somewhere. Sometimes the learning can happen a little bit differently and it sticks with us.
Yeah, and sometimes you're just intimidated and don't want to be in a big group. You're the last person to raise your hand. But I think being a group of 14 kind of gives you that feeling of security.
Sure.
As well as being just comfortable asking questions and getting the answers that you've been wanting to get. And it being a small, intimate group as well allows you to kind of speak about your specific things and open up and ask your own questions, not just open it up to answering my questions.
Right. I like that. Being able to have a discussion that drills down a little bit more and can be more tailored.
Correct.
To what the participants are. Well, it sounds like you are already off to a great start, that you are almost full and you just have a few spots left that we need to hopefully get more of the inspired women leaders. And as you say here, to learn proven marketing tactics, real business strategies, and ways to recharge, all right here in our beautiful Sonoran Desert as the backdrop. Can't ask for anything better than that.
Well, I can do one better than that, Lydia. So for the $5.99 for the 3-day retreat, that includes your meals, your lodging, and all of this information, as well as the swag.
So important for people to understand that this is inclusive, especially of the lodging and the surroundings in that area. This is not just a registration fee, and then they have to do their lodging on top of that. Thank you for clarifying that, because I think that'll make a difference.
I agree.
For folks. How wonderful. Let's go back a minute to you, Susan, and your start. What drew you into accounting and working as the expert accountant? I believe you have a colleague in New York, and the two of you have this group. And are you working with other accountants as well, or is it the two of you? I'm not understanding if you have staff. I wasn't quite clear on that.
Well, I can clarify that for you, Lydia. I have an office in New York and I have an office here. I own the expert accountant. I have 11 employees.
Fantastic.
And what's great about that is I found that a lot of accountants are one-man bands. Mm-hmm. And sometimes there's problems with that. There's great things about it because you get that one-on-one for sure. And unfortunately, if you're sick or if you're on vacation, that kind of leaves a gap for your clients. With 11 people on staff, a couple of CPAs included, we're able to get you the information you need from the day you want to start up to the day you want to leave, including tax returns. And I've been doing this quite a while. I was a single mom and kind of just took the first job I could find that was going to earn me some money. And I slowly worked my way up. And then I got some notoriety on Long Island, who's who on Long Island. And it really took off from there. And I'm excited to be almost a $1 million business here in Tucson.
Oh, good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We love that you are here in Tucson and you're part of the Arizona women-owned businesses story of success. Arizona has long been renowned for particularly women-owned business. And like you said, even though that classifies under minority-owned, women-owned, disadvantaged businesses, it's still a fast-growing sector, and it sounds like you have really made it work. And so your expertise yourself and your own organization really plays well into She Means Business, fierce, focused, and empowered. So believe it or not, we're ready for our first commercial break. So we're going to go to break. Listeners, please stand by. We're going to speak more with Susan about She Means Business. Right after this commercial break, you're listening to Rainmakers.
At 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, I'm Matt Neely with a look at your traffic and weather. There's a traffic hazard Speedway and Kolb and a traffic incident, Kolb and Sunrise. And remember, construction on Sunrise now through September 18th, and that'll be at Pontotoc. So expect lane restrictions and extra time getting across there. So either take another route or plan on a few extra minutes for the next week or so. Light traffic on your Tucson area freeways. Tucson weather, high today 99 degrees. Clear skies, overnight low 74, 101 for your high tomorrow. Under clear skies. And still under clear skies, it is 81 degrees in Tucson. Now back to the morning voice.
And we're back. This is Monday, September 8th. I am your host, Lydia Aranda, and we are on the Rainmakers Show, the Monday segment of the Morning Voice, where you will have 5 different hosts, 5 different perspectives each morning of the week. This morning, we have in studio Susan Pisano. Susan is founder and owner of The Expert Accountant, and with that, she has created a 3-day women's business retreat that will be coming up this weekend starting Friday, September 12th here in Tucson. It's called She Means Business, and this is a journey to growth, fierce, focused, and empowered. Susan, thank you again for being here on Rainmakers this morning. It's been lovely to have you and speak about the purpose of this retreat. We are excited to know also, and we were speaking a little bit during the break, that even though your background is in accounting and you've built up a great bi-coastal business, that you love to teach. You said that you really love the aspect that happens in your accounting or in serving your clients or friends, family members, and others, that you love to teach. And one of the really great things that helped inform you putting together this retreat for women business owners is the teaching aspect, that you will be able to inform, teach, show, and connect for others. And then going to so then what? What happens? Let's talk a little bit about, so the information that's going to happen here, the exchange, and remind our listeners exactly what's going to happen in their journey to growth. But then what happens after that?
That's a great question. A lot of people go to seminars, they go to classes, they go to these retreats, and then when they get back to their desk, all of that goes away. And I want to promote something that's going to continue. This is a journey to growth. So it's a journey. It doesn't stop after this retreat is over.
Okay.
I want to work with you to keep going. Like you said, I love teaching, and I offer a lot of classes. If you want to know how to read a financial statement, and every business owner should know that, I'm the go-to person. I know how to tell you or teach you how to read that financial statement in very clear English, very approachable way. And you walk out of there and all these light bulbs go off. And that's my reward.
How wonderful, and so helpful to people. Even if they feel they have learned in the past, maybe they're up for a refresher, and this might be a good time for them to do that and be in a setting that is also calm, that's energizing, more intimate. So maybe they feel that they can learn a little bit differently in that kind of setting, and then get ready to, after they're gone, touch back in for classes with you or courses, or maybe even ask you a question now and then.
Exactly. We can take a look at the financials. We do offer a free review of your financials for half an hour. So I welcome anybody that wants to come in and make that appointment with me.
Oh, fantastic. Now, if people want to do that and learn more about your business, The Expert Accountant, is it best for them to go to your website?
Absolutely.
And that would be theexpertaccountant.com.
Correct.
Okay.
Or you can email me at susan@theexpertaccountant.com.
Wonderful. And I hope that people will contact you to take advantage of a free financial review to see maybe how they can become a client of yours in your wonderful team of 11, whether it's here in Tucson or over in New York or anywhere in between. I think online probably works for everybody. And more importantly, if they want to learn about how to take advantage of a few of those open registrations that are all inclusive. The price includes the 3-day retreat, all of the meals, all of the materials and packets, and certainly the lodging that's going to be at Solana Spanish Village out in the east side of town, up against the gorgeous mountains.
It is. It's absolutely gorgeous there.
And the weather has been participating, so I think that that's good too. Matt Neely, what do you think about all of this?
Well, of all the things we learned today, and there's a lot of technical acumen we're learning from Susan, but I never knew about also the Solana place on Tinca Verde, Solana Villas. So
Solana Spanish Villas,
Solana,
yes.
yeah. Who knew we had?
Who knew that
right
we
out
have
there in
yet
the Tinca
another
Verde Valley.
gorgeous place, another venue here right in our own community that we can take advantage of for either personal reasons or professional reasons, like this kind of a business retreat. Susan, tell us one more time about some of the special speakers, the guest speakers that you have that are going to be keynotes. I think Pam O'Neill is one of them.
Pam O'Neill, who's a certified coach and tax professional. So she's going to speak on leadership and she's going to speak about taxes.
Okay, wonderful. And everybody needs to know a lot about that. I'm also excited to hear that you mentioned Bobby Still is going to be talking about AI and particularly AI, artificial intelligence, for content marketing. People really stumble about that one because on the one hand, you don't want to just throw a question into AI and then plagiarize and just pull it all down and pretend like that's your marketing strategy, but it can be a helpful tool of really whittling quickly, especially if one's on deadline, a really quick deadline for maybe a rapid response project or something like that. Maybe there's a way to use AI as a helpful tool. Is that kind of where she's going to go with that?
That's exactly where she's going to go with that. And again, it's going to be all on a thumb drive to take home. She is actually certified in AI marketing.
Oh, wow.
So we're really excited to have her.
Oh, I bet.
And then I will be speaking in the beginning and the end of the retreat. In the beginning about One Big Beautiful Bill and how that affects employers. And at the end, we're going to talk about QBO. What do you want to know?
QBO, that QuickBooks Online, and everybody getting a little bit more familiar, being less afraid. And that's what I love about A Journey to Growth is such an empowering message. And She Means Business means it's okay. You are going in there because you're serious about it as a solopreneur or maybe a business owner of a larger group. Matt, what do you think about that?
Well, I want to go back to using AI. So there are definitely some pitfalls to using it. I get it. What are a couple of solid green light things to use AI for, and what are a couple of things to really look out for? You sometimes have to check the results to make sure you ask the question right. What are some easy things to do with AI, and what are some things that maybe you might want to pump the brakes a bit?
Well, definitely you don't want to put out anything that sounds like AI. You don't want to sound robotic. You want to be able to sound like yourself. Well, how does that happen? You have to teach AI who you are. And that's kind of what Bobby's going to touch on as well. There's a lot of interactive workshops that we're doing. So there's going to be ways that you can test your theory with AI. So one of the things is to stay away from sounding a little robotic.
In other words, don't just copy and paste.
Exactly. And that's what Bobby's going to really dial in on.
That's wonderful.
I've noticed if you're having it help you write a letter or help you respond to something, you can say, can you soften that a bit, or can you make it more direct or less direct? You can do that. I have noticed that.
It's a nice feature of AI. I like when I'm trying to quickly remember, I'm trying to research something, and maybe I'm having a hard time remembering an exact company name or an exact program name, and I put in something like, and it can find it a lot quicker than I can.
Exactly.
And then that allows me to walk away. But I love what you said, and again, on the teaching mode, that one of the premises, whether it's AI or really, I'm going to say any agency that a business might be considering hiring, whether it's a PR agency, a marketing firm, or what have you, a tech firm, that teaching AI or that firm or that team who you are is really crucial. It is really important because it allows you to not only verbalize what maybe you haven't thought out loud about in a while, and realize that words matter. So descriptors come into play. Sounds like you're going to have just a fabulous retreat. And again, folks can contact you and mention they heard you on Rainmakers and get a discount for that all-inclusive price that includes the lodging.
That's $5.99.
Wonderful. Susan Pisano, the expert accountant, and She Means Business. Thank you so much for being on Rainmakers this morning. We're going to our next break. And Matt, Thank you for taking us away. Our next guest will be here right after the break. And we're back. I am your host, Lydia Aranda. We are in the last half hour of Monday, September 8th, Rainmakers show. Rainmakers is the Monday segment of Positive Talk Radio weekday show, The Morning Voice here at KVOI. And Matt Neely today has just flown by. We've had so many great stories to tell, people making great things happen in community. And I'm excited that we have with us this morning Sandra Ludy, who is a leasing agent and works with residents at Fellowship Square, the Christian care communities. Sandra, welcome to Rainmakers.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's wonderful to have you here. And for folks who may not be very familiar, let's talk a little bit about exactly what Fellowship Square is. It's a non-for-profit Christian care community. At least that's the title, that's the tagline. But really what it focuses on, in my understanding, is wonderfully dynamic senior living with all the amenities for independent living, but also offers floor plans and services around assisted living and affordable senior housing. Did I get that correct?
Yes, ma'am, you did.
Oh, wonderful. Been around a long time here in the greater Tucson area.
Correct. It was built as a regular apartment community.
Mm-hmm.
And so Christian Care took it over, and it's a wonderful place where seniors thrive. And it's really an exciting place to live or work because you can see how people live and thrive.
And really build up their camaraderie. It sounds like with folks who are seniors are wonderfully dynamic and active in their own way, but also need a little help with some things that are different than what we would provide for young families, but still need to make living affordable, which means a lot of different things to a lot of different people these days with shift in income or retirement. And maybe dealing with different kinds of funding that comes out of government or whatever, but also private donors. I think Fellowship Square benefits a lot from different kinds of donations, grants, and support. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Well, September is an exciting month for Fellowship Square because there are many senior living events that happen all around town. But this September, coming up quickly next week, September 17th, is going to be the second annual end of summer celebration. And I love that you wait until about mid-September to do that because here in the Southwest, our summer kind of goes on a lot longer than
This
other
is
people.
true. Yes, ma'am.
And so the Flamingo Fling, tell me about that. What exactly is that? It sounds like a ton of fun.
It is a lot of fun. And so we're going to have some entertainment, some food, some prizes. If someone wants to join us and they're wearing pink, they can see about getting a prize.
Wow.
but
And that
it's-
would be all shades of pink. So flamingo
Correct.
pink, maybe neon pink, going back to the 80s a little bit.
All kinds of pink. And so we're very excited. We'd love to invite everybody to come on out and join us. It's going to be from 1 to 3:30 on the 17th. We do ask, if possible, if somebody can RSVP by the 13th, but they can call of course, the 520-886-5537. But it'll be a lot of fun.
Wonderful. So 1 to 3:30. So just enough time to stir up a little bit of good trouble, kick up the heels, have some food, some camaraderie, do a little bit of pink contests. And tell me, is this event something that the residents themselves get involved in planning? Are they part of committees or anything, or is this something that leadership puts together and offers to the residents?
Leadership puts it together, and the residents love it.
Oh,
of course,
wonderful.
it's been a smash hit, so
Oh,
that's
I
why we're
bet.
going to continue to do it. But they do get very involved. We have a lot of great volunteer pool there. As a matter of fact.
Wonderful. People
Yes.
need to know that they are have things to contribute with their time or talent or even their treasure. And sounds like this is one way of Fellowship Square giving back and letting people know that they want to celebrate them being part of community.
They are part of community. So we have residents, different committees where we have a rose committee where they help take care of the roses, and they're just all kinds of resident-led activities that we like to share with people.
That's
So it's
great. And a lot of activities in any community, in any setting, whether apartment buildings or neighborhoods, of homes, what have you, even dorm life on college campuses. A lot of activities are centered around food and eating, which is great. A great way to break bread, build some camaraderie and have some fellowship that way. But I love that there are other activities, and that this offers that too. Some active type things where people can enjoy some music, maybe, get up and shake a leg, as they say, have some activity that way. And if there are other groups going on at Fellowship Square, it might be a book club or maybe a walking club or something that allows people to exchange stories with each other.
Right. We also have a full-time chaplain, and he has different Bible studies. So we have a
great.
lot of great fellowship in regards to that.
That
It's
is good,
wonderful.
and people have interesting exchanges about their perspectives and their experiences, I would imagine.
Very true. And their
in
life
Bible study.
stories. It's wonderful. It's very exciting to hear a lot of the stories
And
that seniors have.
how the lessons translate into having had an impact in their lives.
True. And they have, they find, an extended family. And it's great to see that too.
How wonderful. So, Susan, let's talk a little bit about you. How long have you been with Fellowship Square? It sounds like you are just right in the thick of things, and not only the activities, but making it possible for folks to ensure that they have a place to live there.
Right.
by
Well, I've been
being a
there
leasing
16
agent.
years, and I love it. And I just love my job. And I'm there for people who are considering a transition, and I'm just kind of there to help them walk them through it. Is
So
it
you
something they
navigate
wanna
the
do?
path.
Right. And make sure it's going to be a good fit. And if we're not, we're more than happy to put them in the right direction if need be.
See, and that's so helpful too, because then folks don't feel pressured or intimidated. They know that they can ask questions, or maybe come for a while, and then after a time they have to move on or find other accommodation elsewhere. But now they've made friends and can keep being connected to the Fellowship Square.
Yes, we find that because sometimes they will come into independent living and then they do have to go into assisted living, but it makes it easier for them because they've established friends and relationships. And it's easier to do that because it can be very difficult. It's
Sure.
It's a hard thing to do.
I think you bring up such a great point, because in independent living, but in a community, and knowing that that same community has other accommodation, makes it so much easier to consider and accept that the help is needed. I think that's hard for all of us. We're all pretty independent, out living our lives. And so knowing that we have to rely on others can be a little bit daunting of a change.
It can be.
And it sounds like you have you and your team are very compassionate in helping lead that path.
We are. In fact, the whole leadership, everybody there is wonderful, and they really have a heart to serve, which I'm very proud of.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it sounds like you're doing a great job. Again, let's tell folks before we go on to our next break that this is Flamingo Fling that we are talking about next Wednesday. So about 9 days, September 17th, 1 to 3:30. And folks can RSVP hopefully by this Friday, so you get a nice head count. I forgot to ask, even though this is for the residents of Fellowship Square, are they allowed to invite guests from outside?
Oh, most definitely. We're
Oh,
opening
good.
it up to the public to join us and meet some of our residents. A lot of times people want to come in and visit, but they don't want to feel pressured. So this is a great time to come in and just have fun and meet some people. So we invite them in.
Absolutely. Kind of a meet and greet.
Yes.
So here, speaking of meet and greets, here at the radio station at Rainmakers and for the Morning Voice, all year long we've been holding Eat and Greets, which are activities that take place at the venues of various supporters and sponsors of the show. And recently, we have been at such places as Union Pub up on River and Campbell. We have been at Caruso's down on 4th Avenue, which has been a favorite. We have been at so many other places. Matt, I'm forgetting where all of them are, but we hope that new Eat and Greets will take place. So it sounds like that kind of and the strategy is a little bit similar, that we want folks to get familiar with who the Morning Voice is and what the radio show is all about, and who at KVOI is helping make this kind of messaging out into community happen. So it sounds like Flamingo Fling is also doing that too, out to the public.
Most definitely.
That's
Yes.
great. That's great. So I think we're getting close to our commercial break here. And Matt, sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know if what you've got on your schedule for next Wednesday, the 17th, but maybe a little flamingo fling might be the answer.
Absolutely. Flamingos are a good thing.
Yes, we'll all put on our pink, and we've got some pink in our coloring of our logo. So maybe
We'll go back to the 80s, and it'll be just like Miami Vice all over again.
there you go. Maybe to even bring a flamingo with us. That's true. So, listeners, if you have any thoughts or want to know more about Fellowship Square, give us a call. We'll be back right after the break. Call us at 520-790-2040. KVOI, the voice, the morning voice.
At 8:47, with a look at your traffic and weather, I'm Matt Neely on 1030 The Voice, still working your traffic hazard at Speedway and Kolb, and another at Kolb and Sunrise. And a reminder, Sunrise, you may see some lane restrictions around Pontotoc due to construction. Plan accordingly, give yourself a little extra time, or take another route. On your freeways, light traffic in the Tucson metro area. A bit of slowing on I-10 westbound near Valencia, but it looks like it's pretty short-lived. Tucson weather, high today 99 degrees. Clear skies overnight, low 74. 101 for your high tomorrow. And currently under clear skies, it's 82 degrees. Now, let's go back to the morning voice. Win Tucson with Kathleen Wynn, right around the corner at 9.
And we're back listening to Little Lady Marmalade. This has been a wonderful couple hours on this September 8th segment, Monday's segment of the Morning Voice. We are called Rainmakers, and this Monday has flown by, hasn't it, Matt?
Indeed, it has.
We are back
We're
into the
back,
swing.
baby.
We are back.
Rainmakers is back. The rain isn't back.
But, it just might be. I'm going to be positive that maybe a little dribble on Thursday might come. You never know. But we are here in Tucson at the KVOI studios, part of 1030 The Voice, Matt Neely behind the square, and I'm your host, Lydia Aranda. This morning we have had with us Sandra Ludi, who is with Fellowship Square. She is a leasing agent making great things happen for residents and prospective residents. And what we want to say is if you want to learn more about Fellowship Square, which is a non-for-profit organization, a not-for-profit provider of living, both independent senior living, assisted senior living, and in all of those capacities, really making affordable senior living happen right here in our community out in the East Valley on East Broadway. If you have any questions about that, Sandra says that it's best to call. So 520-886-5537 sounds like the direct number where they can reach you, Sandra. Is that correct?
Correct. We have a great team that would be more than happy to help answer any questions and help them through, a possibility of a move or for family, friends, or anything.
Set up a tour, any of those
Yes.
things. My understanding is one of the best ways to really explain the joy and peace and service of Fellowship Square is just when people come out and really walk through it and feel it for themselves. Is that what you experience?
Most definitely.
That's
Most
great.
definitely.
If family members can come out looking for solutions and options for their own relatives, or people can come out themselves and get to know you.
Yes, and we treat them to some lunch and a treat, and it's a great place. We've had people living there for more than 35 years.
That's amazing, and sounds like not only the camaraderie that takes place, the fellowship with a lot of the amenities, programs, clubs, activities, including Bible study, including volunteer bases that get involved in maybe just things around the community or perhaps even interacting with other organizations out in community. Do you find that some of the volunteer base does that they find other organizations that really speak to them and maybe...
Well, we
tackle it as a group?
We will take people coming in to do some volunteering if
Okay.
they're out there. We've got some great things that they could do. But our residents are so active. We do have transportation included, so they go all over the place.
Oh,
which is
good
kind of
for
fun.
them. Shopping and
Mhm.
dining and
Yes,
whatever
ma'am.
else they can do. And certainly out in the east side of town are some gorgeous venues and opportunities to really get out and enjoy the lovely weather that we have here in Tucson. We would be remiss if we didn't mention Wednesday, September 17th is Flamingo Fling, and that is the second annual end of summer celebration that takes place in mid-September, a wonderful time of year to do that. So wearing pink,
Definitely.
there'll be contests and celebration, some food.
Great
and
food and
interaction.
entertainment too.
And entertainment too, and that's happening at 1 o'clock on September 17th, and folks can RSVP by going to the website or
Giving us a call.
giving you a
Yes,
call,
that'd
which
be
might be
great.
the safest way, 520-886-5537. And let's look up that website, make sure that people know where to go. Fellowship Square, and Fellowship Square SeniorLiving.org.
Correct.
Okay, so it's a nice long one, but they can just spell it out and find you. The address is 8111 East Broadway, so out in the East Valley. And they can RSVP hopefully by this Friday, so you have enough in the food and beverages to be able to accommodate all. And people from the public are welcome. It's not just the folks living there now, but anyone else who might be interested or our friends or family of those
Correct.
folks who are there. So that's just great. Sounds like you can really accommodate a lot of people.
Yes, and we're looking forward to seeing some people. So it'll be
That's
fun.
wonderful. Matt, like I'm saying, there might be something else. It looks like, you're
September
all...
17th, 1 to 3 p.m.
Yep,
Looks like a lot of fun.
Come on out and visit.
it really does. And wearing that pink, any shade of pink could get you a chance to win some prizes. And it looks like you're going to be doing hosting some community tours also.
Correct.
And
So-
if you're looking for the place, it's on Broadway, just west of Pantano. Beautiful fountain out front. You can't miss it. It's just it's a beautiful landmark.
Right,
Wonderful.
we're between Pantano and Camino Seco. We're on the north side of the street. You can't miss us. We have this beautiful fountain out there, and we're there for everybody.
Oh, that's wonderful. Sounds like a great way to wrap up summer, to get interested in fall. And Sandra, I don't know if you heard, but earlier we were talking about what National Day or National Week themes are going on this week. And yesterday happened to be National Acorn Squash Day. Who knew? and that along with National Grandparents Day and also National Beer Lovers Day. So it sounds like that was just the great prep to get into September 17th and the Flamingo Fling. All they were missing was National Pink Day.
I agree.
So that'll be fun. Well, we are wrapping up a wonderful 2 hours. It's been very dynamic. I appreciate you, Sandra, taking time on an early Monday morning to come by and visit
Thank you
us.
for having us. It's
We
great.
we are excited for it. We hope you'll come back, and we're wishing everyone out at Fellowship Square, the whole team, thank you for what you do and continued success and also a lot of fun. And maybe we'll see you on September 17th.
I hope so.
It'll be great. So, folks, if you have any questions or you didn't catch any of that, you can always check us out again here at The Morning Voice here at 10:30 The Voice. You can call in 520-790-2040, or you can find us by following us at 10:30 The Voice on Facebook Live and on YouTube.
And Lydia, tomorrow we're going to have Romeo Arietta for the CEO of Tucson Association of Realtors and Sahuarita Mayor Tom Murphy. They'll be on with Ted Maxwell tomorrow right here.
Right here.
Right here.
The Morning Voice, 5 different hosts, 5 different perspectives, lots of great information and talk. And sounds like we've got good friends coming in to meet with Ted tomorrow.
Indeed.
So, Matt Neely, thank you for all you do. Make it a great Monday. Thanks for joining us here on Rainmakers. Sandra, once again, wishing you a wonderful week. We thanks to everybody.
Thank you.